शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं वेट्रिवेल् मुरुगनुक्कु हर हरोहरा। लोकवीर्यं महापूज्यं सर्वरक्षाकरं विभुं पार्वती हृदयानन्दं शास्तारं प्रणमाम्यहं। स्वामिये शरणमय्यप्प। वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचर गुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितो अहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि अर्थान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशी विभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ടാത്തോരു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. So we'll do a review of 25. Let's see. Vijay, can do one half, Vijay, of 25?
Okay, Rajeshi.
And then Maitri Garu, can you do one half of 25?
Yes.
Okay. And then Anita, can you do 26?
Is it okay if I do Dasakam first half, sir? I haven't practiced 26 yet.
Yeah, you can do. And Kritika, can you do the second half of 26?
Sure.
Okay.
So, am I doing Dasakam first half, sir, or
26 first half you can do.
oh, I haven't prepared 26th, yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So Kritika, you can do 26 and
Fully,
Vijay,
yes.
Maithili, you do 25. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Anita, you want to do 25? I can do 26.
Sure, ma'am. So, is it okay, Maithili, if
Yeah.
I start 25? Thank
So
you.
you
Thank
start 25 and then I'll do
Okay.
whatever is left for 26.
Sure.
Whatever you want.
Thank,
Yeah,
thank
25
you,
Vijay
ma'am.
is doing. Vijay is doing the second half of 25. So
I'll do 26 with Kritika.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rajesh, am I doing the first half or second half in 25?
Doesn't matter. You whichever you both.
I'm okay with anything.
Vijay, can I do the 25 first half?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Dasakam 25. Narasimha Avatara Varnanam. स्तम्भे कट्टयतो हिरण्यकशिपोः कर्णौ समाचूर्णयन् आकूर्णच्चगतण्डकुण्डकुहरो पुरस्तवापूत्रवः श्रुत्वायं किल दैत्यराजहृतये पूर्वं कदाप्यश्रुतं कम्पः कश्चन सम्पपात सलितोऽप्यम्बोज पूर्विष्टरात् दैत्ये दिक्षुभि वृष्टुष्टसक्षुभि महासम्प्रम्पिनी स्तम्भस्तस्सम्पूतं न मृगात्मकं न मनुजाकारं वपुस्ते विभो किं भीषणं मे तत्पुतमिति व्युत्प्रान्तचित्ते शुरे विस्फूर्जत्तवलोक्ररोम विकसत् वर्ष्मा समाजृम्भताः.
Amita, on the first line, Visrishta Chakshushi.
विसृष्टचक्षुषि
Okay. Yeah.
तप्तस्वर्णसवर्णकूर्णततिरूक्षाक्षं सडाकेशरं प्रोत्कम्प्रनिकुम्बिताम्रमहो जियोत्वेदं वपुः व्याप्तमहातरीसकमुखं कट्कोग्रवल्हन्महाजिह्वा निर्गम दृश्यमानसमः संश्रायुकोटामरम्.
On the last line, Sumaha Damshtra. The last line.
Okay.
And then the first line on the Sata Kesaram, you said there's no im there. Okay. The last line, first line, last word. First line, last word.
Okay.
Sata Kesaram. Okay.
Shatakeshara. Okay.
Yeah.
Sumaha Tamstrayukotaamaram Utsarpatvalibangapishana ह्रस्वस्त्वतीयस्तरग्रीवं पीवरतोषतोत्कत नहगृह्णां शुतूरोल्पनं व्योमोल्लङ्घिगनागनोपमगन ब्रत्वाननिर्तावितस्तु स्पर्धालुप्रकरं नमामि भवतस्तन्नारसिंहं वपुः.
The third line after Vyomo Langi, there is a comma. Okay. The third line.
Okay. व्योमोल्लङ्घि गनागनोपमगन प्रत्वाननिर्तावितस्पर्धालुप्रकरं नमामि भवतस्तन्नारसिंहं वपुः. नूनं विष्णुरयं निहम्यमुमिति प्राम्यत्कदाभीषणं दैत्येन्द्रं समुपात्रवन्तम् अद्रुतात् तोर्भ्यां पृथिव्याममुं वीरो निर्गलितोत कट्कपलकौ कृष्णन् विचित्रश्रमान् व्यावृण्वन् पुनरापपात भुवनक्रोत्सोत्क्रातोत्स्य त्वामहो.
And then the last two lines to Anita, the comma on the after Nirgalitotha, there is a comma. Okay. And then the next line comes continuous, and after Vyavrunvan, there is a comma. Okay. Those are the two places.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Vijay can continue.
प्राम्यन्तं तिदिजातमं पुनरभिप्रोत्गृह्यतोऽर्प्यां जवात् द्वारे तोरुयुगे निबाध्य नकरान् व्युत्काय वक्षोपुवि निर्पिन्तन्नतिकर्पनिर्भरकलत्रक्ताम्बुपत्तोत्सवं पायमुतैरयो बहु जगत्संहारि सिंहारवान्.
In the comma button, just take care. First line after Diti Jadamam, and the second line after Nipatya. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Pause. Okay. Keep going.
द्यक्त्वा तं हतमासुरक्तलहरी सिक्तोन्नमवर्ष्मणि प्रत्युत्पत्य समस्तदैत्यपटलीं साकात्यमाने त्वयि प्राम्यत् भूमिविकम्पितां पुतिकुलं व्यालोलचैलोत्करं प्रोत्सर्पत्कचरं चराचरमहो दुस्सामवस्थां ततौ तावन्मांसवपाकरालवपुषं कोरान्त्रमालातरं त्वां मध्ये सपमित्तकोपमुक्षितं दुर्वारकुर्वारवम् अप्येतुं न च जागकोऽपि भुवने दूरस्थितापीरवः सर्वे शर्वविरिञ्च वासवमुखाः प्रत्येकमस्तोषध.
The third line, the one word there, Shashaka, Shashaka. Abyetum na Shashaka.
Okay. भूयोऽप्यक्षतरोक्षदाम्नि भवति ब्रह्माज्ञा बालके प्रह्लादे पदयोर्नपत्यपपये कारुण्यपाराकुलः शान्तस्त्वं करमस्य मूर्त्नि समताः स्तोत्रैरतोत्कायत स्तस्या कामति योऽपि ते नितवरं लोकाय चानुग्रहम्.
We didn't get two small corrections. One, a third line, Gayataha. There's a visarga there. And the fourth line, that is goes away. Okay.
Where,
and then,
Rajeshji, after I
and
can
the end of the third line, Stotrairatot-gayataha. There's a visarga there.
Okay.
And the next line, the is goes away. Okay, beginning letter.
Okay.
And then the first line, right? So after Bhavati, there's a pause, and then Brahmaknyaya Balake Prahlade, and then there is a pause.
Okay, together.
Yeah, Brahmaknyaya Balake Prahlade, comma, Padayorna Matya Bhavaye, another comma there. Okay.
Okay. एवं नाडितरौद्रसेष्टितविपो श्रीतापनीयापितश्रुत्यन् तस्फुटकीत सर्वमहिमन् अद्यन्तसुत्ताकृदे तत्तादृङ् निखिलोत्तरं पुनरहो कस्त्वां परोलङ्के यत् प्रह्लादप्रिय हे मरुत्पुरपते सर्वमयात् पाहि माम्.
And the last line, the Prahlada Priya, there is a comma, and then He Marut Purapate is together. Okay, and the 3 times. Just say that 3 times, right? Or 2 more times.
Oh, okay. Prahlada Priya He Marut Purapate Sarvamayat Pahi Mam. Prahlada Priya He Marut Purate Sarvamayat Pahi Mam. Prahlada Priya He Marut Purapate Sarvamayat Pahi Mam.
Good. So on the last is the Prahlada Priya Kapran, there's another comma. So Prahlada Priya He Marut Purapate. Okay. Just in the pause motto. Just take care of it. Okay. Good. Good job. Both of you did really well on 25. So that's one of the tough Dasakam. So
Maithili Garu, can I go?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Dasakam 26, Gajendra Moksha. Indrat Yumna Pandya Kandadirajaka Tvatbhaktatma Chandana Raugatachit Tatvasevayam Magnadiralu Loke Naivakastyam Praptamaditya Kamam Kumbodpudis Samprita Krodaparaha Staptatma Tvam Hasti Bhuyam Bhajeti Saptvatainam Pratyakatsobi लेबे हस्तीन्द्रत्वं त्वत्स्मृति व्यक्तितन्यं दुक्ताम्बोधेर्मध्यभाजी त्रिकूटे क्रीटन् शैले भूतभोयं वसाभिः सर्वाञ्जन्तुनत्यवर्तिष्ठशक्त्या त्वद्भक्तानां कुत्र नोत्कर्षलाभः लाभा
Labah.
स्वेन
Labah.
लाभः அப்ப நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கரெக்டா ஓகே ஸ்வேன तेम्न दिव्यदेशत्व शक्त्या सोऽयं केता न प्रजानन् कदाचित् शैलप्रान्ते कर्मदान्तः सरस्यां यूदैः सार्धं त्वत्प्रणोभिप्रेमे हुहुस्तावत् देवलस्याभिशापात् ग्राहि भूतस्तश्चले वर्तमानः जग्राहैनं हस्तिनं पादस्तेशे सन्त्यर्थं हिस्रान्दिते दोषि स्वकानां
You can stop there.
तत्सेवा
You can stop there. And the fourth line, first word mattum, Shantyartham. Okay. Fourth line, first word. The fifth la Shantyartham.
Okay. शान्त्यर्थं हिस्रान्ति दोषि
Okay, I think you can continue.
वत्सेवाया वैभवात् दुर्निरोधं युध्यन्तं तं वत्सराणां सहस्रं प्राप्ते काले त्वत्पदैकाग्रसिद्ध्यै नक्राक्रान्तं हस्तिवर्यं व्यदास्यस्त्यम् आतिर्व्यक्ता प्राप्न ज्ञानभक्तिः शुण्डोक्षिप्तैः पुण्डरीकैः समर्चन् पूर्वभ्यस्तं निर्विशेषात्मनिष्ठं स्तोत्रं क्षेत्रं सोन्वगादीत् परात्मन् श्रुत्वा स्तोत्रं निर्गुणस्तं समस्तं ब्रह्मेशाध्यैर्नाहि मत्यप्रयाते सर्वात्मा त्वं भूरिकारुण्यवेगात् तक्ष्यारूढः प्रेक्षितो भूः परस्तात्.
So, second line, Brahmeshadye Naham Ityaprayate.
Oh yeah, I think I said
And then the last line, right? Tarkshya Ruda Prekshito Buf Purastat. Can you say the last line again?
ताक्ष्यारूढः प्रेक्षितो भूः पुरस्तात्.
Yeah.
हस्तीन्द्रत्तं हस्तपद्मे धृत्वा चक्रेण त्वं नक्रवर्यं व्यदारिः गन्धर्वेऽस्मिन् मुक्तशापे सहस्ति त्वत्सारूप्यं प्राप्य देदीप्यते स्म एतत् वृत्तं त्वां च मां च प्रगेयो गायेत् सोऽयं भूयसे श्रूयसे स्यात् इत्युक्त्वैनं तेन साद्धं गतस्त्वं दिश्यं विष्णो प्राहि वातालयेश. श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
Second line, Bhuyase Shreyase. You said Shro, Shreyase Syat.
Oh, sorry.
And then the last line, that Gatastvam Dishnyam is one, it will come together. So the plus after the third line. So Ityuktvainam Tena Sardham Gatastvam Dishnyam. And then a comma. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Yes, we'll continue with 27. I think we had finished exactly half at 5. So we'll continue from 6. So Shashi, you can be a student. Ravi, you can be a student first half. Second half, Gayatri, you can be a student. And Pratibha Garu, are you on? You can be a student. Okay. So we'll start from number 6, 27. क्षुब्धाद्रौ क्षुभितजलोदरे तधानी दुग्धाब्धौ गुरुतरभारतो निमग्ने देवेषु व्यतिततमेषु तत्प्रियैषी Pranaishi Kamatathanum Kathora Prishtham. So we're seeing the last class how because of the curse from Durvasa, Indra had lost his power, because of which the Asuras became powerful. So they all went to Narayana, and Narayana said, you have to make a truce with the Asuras. So go tell them that we'll work together to then churn to get the nectar, which will make us all immortal. Immortal means, again, not permanently immortal, but you will not age. You will still have a particular, by the time when Brahma's age gets over, everybody gets over. So nobody can live beyond that. But you'll have more life than what you have normal. So anyway, so they all go and they bring the Mandara mountain, and then they bring Vasuki as a snake, as a churning, as a rope, and then they all start churning. So that's kind of where we saw. And last stanza was where the Lord was holding Vasuki by its mouth, and then the Asuras wanted it, and they ended up swapping the positions, right? So that's what was happening. So now the Devas are on one side, led by Narayana, Asuras are on the other side. They all are beginning to churn this Mandara mountain. So when they start doing it, when you start churning something, it starts, going down. So when it starts going down, so they need some kind of a, base at the bottom to actually hold it intact. So because of the force, because Mandara mountain was beginning to sink, so at that time, the Devas all prayed to the Lord. So at that time, it says, you, Lord, took the form of a tortoise, because a tortoise has a hard back. So you took this, and this is a massive size. We'll see it in the next stanza. So you took the form of a tortoise with a very hard back, so that it can rest, the Mandara mountain can rest on you, so it won't further sink down, right? So that's where Kathora Prishta, with a very hard back, you took that form of the Kurma Avataram here. So Kshubdhadrau, Shubita Jalodare Tadanim, Dugdhabdau Gurutara Bharato Nimagne, Deveshu Vyatitatameshu Tat Priyaishi, long E, Pranaishihi, put a ich sound, Kamatha Tanum Kathora Prishtam. Shubdhadrau Shubita Jalodare Tadhanim, Dugdhabdau Gurutara Bharato Nimagne, Deveshu Vyatitatameshu Tat Priyaishi, Pranaishi Kamathatanum Kathora Prishtam.
Rajesh, sorry, I just missed this. I mean, is this the 27th one, right?
27th. 27, number 6.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, I just okay. No issues. Number 6, correct? Okay. 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 So I can start, right?
Yeah, Shashi will start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shubdadau Shupita-jalodare tadanim Dugdabdau Gurutara Bharato Nimagne Deveshu Vyatitatameshu Tatpriyaishi Pranaishi Kamatatanum Katora Prishtam Shubda.
Shashi, there's one small correction. And
Sure.
that ta that is coming in that line, the last line, right? The 3 ta are like the emphasis tas. Kamatha tanum kathora prishtham. There are 2 tas. So this is the
Okay.
more stronger ta.
Katora Prishtam.
Yeah.
Okay. Shubdadrau Shubita-jalodhare tadhanim Dugdabdau Gurutara Bharato Nimagne Deveshu Vyatitatameshu Tatpriyaishi Pranaishi Kamatatanum Kathora Prishtam.
Shubdadrau Shubida Jalodare Tatanim Duktabdau Gurudara Bharado Nimagne Deveshu Vyatita Dameshu Tatpriyakshi Pranaishi Kamadatanum Kadora Prishtam. Shubdadrau Shubida Jalodare Tatanim Duktabdau Gurudara Bharado Nimagne Deveshu Vyatita Tameshu Tatpriyakshi Pranaishi Kamadatanum Kadora Prishtam.
Stanza 7. Vajrate stiratara karparena Vishnu vistarat parigata laksha yojanena ambode kuharagatena varshmanatvam nirmagnam kshitidharanata munnineta. So if you remember in that 23rd Dasakam, when we were talking about that Vishwarupa and all that, and I was talking about Narayana Kavacham. So I mentioned how Indra at one point he went to sage, the Dadichi who was chanting Narayana Kavacham every day, and he took the bones of Dadichi and made this Vajra. He made his weapon, right? So thunderbolt. So here it's saying it's comparing that to saying that is the hardest weapon that is there. So it says the tortoise's back was like Vajram. It was like that hard because it was able to hold the entire Mandara mountain on top. And then people were able to, roll it. The Devas and Asuras are churning it. It's rolling on your back. And it says, Narayana, the size of this tortoise cannot be said because it says when in general in text like this, when they say when it's too big, right? When they cannot describe the size of it, they just say it's extremely big, thousands, like Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha, they say, right? They say Laksha Yojana, they say it's really big, it's massive in size, right? So it is so big that when the Mandara mountain, which itself is so big, is getting churned, it appeared like somebody scratching your back, oh Narayana. That is how the size of the tortoise was, right? So you have to imagine this is not happening in this Bhulokam. You have to imagine it is happening in some other worldly plane where the size of the tortoise is massive in size and they are now rotating it. It's like somebody scratching your back. That is how it was. And because of the tortoise being so hard, it is holding the mountain from sinking further and it is able to prop it up, right? So because of which they continue the process. So Vajrati Sthira Tara Karparena Vishnu, Vistarat Parigata Laksha Yojanena Ambodhehe, put a ich sound, Ambodeh Kuhara Gatena Varshmanatvam, Nirmagnam Kshitidharanatam Unnineta, if you want to break it. Kshitidharanatam Unnineta. Vajrati Stiratara Karparena Vishnu Vistarat Parigata Laksha Yojanena Ambode Kuharagatena Varshmanatvam Nirmagnam Kshitidharanatam Unnineta.
वज्रातिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णु विस्तारात् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदेः कुहरगतेन वश्मना त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथं उन्निनेथ वज्रातिस्थिरतरकर्परेण विष्णु विस्तारत् परिगतलक्षयोजनेन अम्बोदे कुहरगतेन वश्मना त्वं निर्मग्नं क्षितिधरनाथम् उन्निनेत.
Vajradi Stiradara Karparena Vishnu Vistarat Parigada Laksha Yojanena Ambode Kura Kadena Vashmanatvam Nirmagnam Shudidara Nadam Unnineda Vajradi Stiradara Garbarena Vishnu Vistarat Parigada Laksha Yojanena Ambode Kuhara Kadena Vashmanatvam Nirmagnam Sudhidaranadam Unnineda.
And the first line, Ravi, is Stiratara Karparena, ka sound. Okay, Karparena.
Okay. Karparena.
That's it.
Rajeshji, is the first line Vistarat or Vistarat?
Vistarat.
This one. Thank you.
That's it. Unmagne jhatiti tada dhara dharendre निर्मेतुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितय गणेऽपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विभृतस्तान्. So the three parties who are involved in this, the Devas, the Asuras, and also Vasuki, right? The snake is also involved because that is also being used as a rope. So when the Kurma Avataram happens and it is now holding the mountains, so they're all excitedly now continuing to churn, but they're all beginning to get tired because nothing is happening, right? So at the time when they all begin to get tired, now each of us is kind of, the energy that is fed into us is in different ways, right? So for the Devas, the mode of goodness, Satvikam, is their energy. Now for Asuras, the mode of passion is their energy. For Vasuki, which is a snake or an animal, the ignorance is the energy. So then the Lord has to get into each of them, feed them the respective energy so that they can continue the churning process. So, they all are becoming tired. So you, O Lord, again went into each of them and actually gave them the energy. So what we're going to see over 27, 28, 29 is at every point in time, things are not going to proceed. And then Bhagavan has to come and help them in some way. First, he helped move the Mandara mountain, number one. Second, he helped in, holding the back of the mountain, number two. Third, he's now giving them more energy for them to continue the process of churning. So that's all that's happening here. So, unmagne jhatiti tada dharadharendre, comma, nirmetur dridamiha sammadena sarve, avishya dvitaya ganepi sarparaje, comma, vaivashyam parishamayan abhivridas. So if you want to break it, it's parishamayan abhivridas tan. The double na there, it's a in and a a, but it becomes a double na when you say it together. Unmagne jhatiti tada dharadharendre निर्मेथुर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्य द्वितय गणेपि सर्पराजे वैवश्यं परिशमयन्न विवृधस्तान्.
Unmagne tatit
Jhatiti.
jatiti thata dharadharendre nirmedur dhritamihas samadena sarve avishyat vitaya ganepi sarparaje vaivashyam parishamayan avivridastan. Unmagne jatiti tata dharadharendre nirmedur dhrudamiha samadena sarve.
Another one. Sammadena.
Okay, sammadena sarve avishyad dvitaya ganepi sarparaje vaivashyam parishamayan avivridastan.
Yeah, the first line and the jhatiti after the word tada, I think you said tada, is
Okay,
tadha. Yeah.
tadha. Okay.
Unmagne jaditi tadatara dharentre निर्मेदोर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन धर्वे आवेश्यत् द्विदय कनेभि सर्पराजे वैवस्यं परिसमयन् अविवृधस्तान्. उन्मग्ने जडिति तदातरादरेन्त्रे निर्मेदोर्दृढमिह सम्मदेन सर्वे आविश्यद्वदीय गणेभि सर्पराजे वैवस्यं परिसमयन् अविवृधस्तान्.
Stanza 9. Uddhama brahmanajavonnamagirindranyastaikas pankajam tvam abhrante vidigirishadayah pramodhat udbhrantanunuvurupata pushpavarshaha. So now, because Bhagavan went inside all of them, they now started churning with more energy. And so now when you start churning with more energy, you see sometimes it goes down, now it's protected at the bottom, now it starts going up, right? Because of that spinning. So he says, again, there's nobody to help. Bhagavan, you only have to come. So you're already there at the bottom, holding it in the back of the tortoise. You are inside all of them as well. Now you also have to go and come on top. And then you again took another instance of your avatar. And this Kurma avatar, like I said, has multiple variations of it. So you took another instance of you again had to come. And then you then came and put your hand on top of the mountain. So you imagine, so he has to become so massive in size that he's resting his hand on top of the Mandara mountain. So it doesn't spin off, right? So with that, you took a great, instance of you where you were there at the bottom, you were there inside all of them, and you also were there at the top of the mountain holding this to continue the process here. So because of that, everybody then Partha Pushpa Varshaha, all of them praised you. So Brahma, Shiva, and everybody there praised, saying that, you are the single-handedly, you are driving this. So Uddhama. So when you go to, I think it was Malaysia, I think, I forget where, in one of the airports, they have this entire scene depicted there, the massive size, right? This churning is depicted in one of the, I think it's the Malaysia, the Bangkok or some airport. So, but in that they show, on one side they show the Asuras, they show the Devas, and then they show the tortoise and they show Vasiki. But later on, you'll see at the end of the day, there'll be nobody, everybody will go off. It'll be only Bhagwan single-handedly doing this thing, right? But that picture doesn't come up, but that's what is going to happen. So, Uddhama, Brahmana, Javonnamad, Girindra. So, if you want to break it, Javonnamad, Girindra, put a plus. Nyastaika, Stira, Tara, Hasta, Pankajam, Twam. So those two lines go together. Abhrante, Vidhi Girishadayaha. So Vidhi Girishadayaha, put a F, Shadayaf, Pramodat, and the comma. So put a it at the end of that line, Pramodat, comma. Next line, the du that is there becomes a u. Udbhranta, Nunuvuru, Pata, Pushpa, Varshaha. Uddhama Brahmanajavonnamad-girindra-न्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्त pankajam tvam abhrante vidigirishadayah pramodat udbhantanunuvurupata pushpavarshaha.
Uddama Brahmanajavonnamad-girindra गिरीन्द्रान्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्तपङ्कजं त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगिरिशादयः प्रमोदत् उद्भ्रान्तां नुनुपुरपातपुष्पवर्षा वर्षा उद्दामा भ्रमणजवोन्नमद्गिरीन्द्राण्यस्तैकस्थिरतरहस्त पङ्कजं त्वाम् अभ्रान्ते विधिगिरिशादयः प्रमोदात् उद्भ्रान्ता पुष्पवर्षाः.
Uddama Brahmana Javonnamadgirintra Nastaiga Stiradara Hasta Pankajam Tvam Abhrante Vidhi Girisadaya Pramodat Udpranda Nunuvuru Pada Pushpavarshaha. Uddama Brahmana Javonnamadgirintra Nastaiga Stiradara Hasta Pankajam Tvam Abhrante Vidhi Girisadaya Pramodat Utprana Nunuvuru Pada Pushpavarshaha.
Sanchatan. Dhaityoge bhujagamukhanilena tapte trenaiva tridashakulepi kinchidharte karunya tabakila deva varivahaha pravarshannamaragana daitya sanghan. So now this is continuing, right? So the Vasuki now in the snake, the Vasuki also has thousands of eyes and mouths. So when it's continuously in the churning is happening, it's getting tired as well. And now it is beginning to continue the process. So it starts emitting poison from its mouth because snakes emit poison. So if you remember previously, the Devas, Narayana went and held the mouth. Then the Asura said, no, tail is considered inferior. So we want to swap. So they ended up holding the mouth and Devas just quietly followed. So now when the Vasuki starts emitting it, of course, it's going to come from the mouth. So whoever is facing the mouth has more impact. If everybody was getting impacted, even the poison that was coming out was impacting the Devas also. But because the Asuras were right in front of the mouth of the snake, they were all getting completely, you get suffocating and they were all beginning to fall down. However, the Devas, the first thing they always do, exactly like the Pandavas, and that's why talking about the Devas and talking about the Pandavas are considered auspicious because they always talk about Krishna or Narayana all the time, right? So here what the Devas also do is they then pray to the Lord and you then are able to cool them down, right? So with Pravarshan, Amaraganan, na Daitya Sangan. So Amaraganan are the Devas. So you're able to cool down the Devas because they are requesting you for help, but all the Asuras are beginning to faint because they're getting, the fumes are going in and they're not able to churn anymore. So Daityauge Bhujaga Mukhanilena Tapte, Tenaiva Tridasha Kulepi Kinchidarte Karunyat Tava. So say it and ta. Karunyat Tava Kila Deva Varivahaha, Pravarshan Namaraganan. So there's a double na there, but if you want to break it, it becomes Pravarshan Amaraganan, or you say it together also, it's fine. Pravarshan Namaraganan Daitya Sangan. दैत्यौघे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्या तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन्नमरगणान्न दैत्यसङ्घान्.
दैत्यौघे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव धृतशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्या तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन् अमरगणान् दैत्यशङ्गान्.
Yeah, last line, Pravarshan Amaraganan na Daitya Sangha. There's a na that comes there.
Okay. प्रावर्षन् अमरगणान् दैत्यशङ्गान् दैत्यौघे भुजगमुखानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव त्रिदशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्या तव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन् अमरगणान् दैत्यशङ्गान्.
दैत्यौघे भुजगमुगानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव दृशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्यादव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन् अमरगणान् दैत्यसङ्गान्. दैत्यौघे भुजगमुगानिलेन तप्ते तेनैव दृशकुलेऽपि किञ्चिदार्ते कारुण्यादव किल देववारिवाहाः प्रावर्षन् अमरगणान् दैत्यसङ्गान्.
Ravi, in the second line, Tenaiva Tridasha.
Okay.
That's 11. Udhramyad bahutiminakrachakravale tatrabdhau chiramatitepi nirvikare ekastvam karayuga krishta sarparajaha samrajan pavanapuresha pahiroghat. So because of that, Asuras all started falling, so they are not able to do anything. They're not able to contribute anymore, and even the devas are also getting a little bit more weak because of that fumes which are going in. So finally, Narayana decides, you know what? I'm already there at the bottom. I'm inside all of you. I'm also holding this on the top, and let me just do the churning. So he says, "You, oh Lord, you then decide to hold the Vasuki on both ends." And then you were shining so beautifully. You were, dark. You take another avataram, another instance of it, where you are again dark, you're black in color, you are wearing this pitambaram, and then you decide that let me single-handedly take care of this. And then you start churning this, holding both ends of Vasuki, and then because of this, you shone so beautifully. So Guruvayurappa, you did all these things for Devas and Asuras. Please pahi roga, please eradicate my ailments as well. So with this, Kurma Avataram comes to an end. This is going to continue, the churning is going to continue, but this instance comes to an end. So Udbhramyat Bahu Timi Nakra Chakravale, Tatrabdau Chira Matitepi Nirvikare Ekastvam Kara Yuga Krishta Sarparajaha, Samrajan Pavana Puresha Pahiroga. So Chira Matitepi, they've been doing it for a really long time, but nothing is coming out, right? Whatever nectar they've been waiting for doesn't come out at all. Udbhramyat bahutiminakrachakravale tatrabdhau chiramatitepi nirvikare ekastvam karayuga krishta sarparajaha samrajan pavanapuresha pahirogat.
उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्दौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः संराजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्. उद्भ्राम्यद् बहुतिमिनक्रचक्रवाले तत्राब्दौ चिरमतितेऽपि निर्विकारे एकस्त्वं करयुगकृष्टसर्पराजः संराजन् पवनपुरेश पाहि रोगात्.
Shashi, that last line, first word, Samrajan, im sound comes then.
Okay.
Udbramyat bahudimi nyakrachakravale tatrabdau siramadi devi nirvikare Egasvam karayuga krishna sarparajah samrajan bhavanapure zavahirogat Udbramyat bahudimi nakrachakravale tatrabdau siramadi devi nirvikare Egasvam karayuga krishna sarparajah samrajan bhavanapure zavahirogat.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Continue with 28. So 28, lot of things happen. The Amrita Mathanam continues, and then this Lakshmi Swayamvara Varnanam, and then Amrutotpatti Varnanam. Finally, the nectar is going to come only in the last stanza of this. So, stanza 1. Garalam taralanalam purastate jaladherudvijagala kalakutam amarastuti vadamoda nigno girishastan nipapau bhavat priyartam. So single-handedly, now when Narayana is beginning to churn, so finally something starts coming out, right? Nothing has been coming out all this time, and now gradually one thing at a time is going to start coming out. So first that comes out is this poison called as Kalakuta poison, which is coming out from the churning. So it is like a molten fire, right? It is extremely poisonous, and it is like, the heat of that itself is burning everybody out. So when that poison starts coming, and then you all understand, when the poison comes, like lava comes, everything around it starts, you can feel the heat. So similarly, everybody starts feeling the heat around it, and nobody knows what to do right now. So they all run to Brahma here and says, what can we do? He says, I can't help anything. You have to go to Shiva. Maybe he can help. So they all go, and Shiva is called as Ashutoshi, somebody who can be very easily pleased, easiest person to please. So he's always very kind to everybody else. So when he saw that all these, the beings were getting impacted with this poison that is actually coming there, so he decides that let me actually swallow this entire poison and save all of you. So he takes the entire poison that is actually coming out, and he starts drinking that poison. So at that time, at one point, Parvati says, I'm going to hold the poison from going into your body, and then she then stops him at its neck. So that's why Shiva then has a blue neck, right? It's called a Neelakanta, right? Because Neelakantam actually refers to a peacock. It doesn't, that's what it is. Because a peacock, if you look at its throat, right, a neck, that throat area, it's the bluish green kind of that color that is there. So because Shiva got that color, he's called Neelakanta, right? Because that's referring to peacock's throat. Anyway, so Lord Shiva comes to the rescue then, and then prevents this poison from impacting everybody else. So Garalam, Tharalanalam, Purastat, put a it at the end of that line, comma. Next line will have a ij. I'm talking from Sanskrit. I don't know how the other books have it. If you have a ij, that goes away. So Jalader Udvijagala, or you can say it together. Jalader Udvijagala Kalakutam Amara Stutivada Moda Nigno, comma, Girishas Tan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartam. Garalam Taralanalam Purastate Jaladherudvijagala Kalakutam Amarastuti Vadamoda Nigno Girishastan Nipapau Bhavat Priyartam.
Garalam taralanalam purastat jaladerudvija. I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
I think if you want to break it,
Okay.
Jalader Udvijagala.
Okay. Jaladerudvijagala kalakutam amarastutivadamodanignu girishastan nipapau bhavat priyartam. Garalam taralanalam purastat jalader udvijagala kalakutam amarastutivadamodanignu girishastan nipapau bhavat priyartam.
The last line, Girishastan Nipapau.
Girishastan nipapau bhavat priyartam.
Garalam taralanalam purastat Jalade Udvijagala Kalakudam Amarastu Divad Vada Modanigno Girisastan Nibabau Bhavat Priyartam Garalam Taralanalam Purastat Jalade Udvijagala Kalakudam Amarastu Divad Modanigno Girisastan Nibabau Bhavat Priyartam.
Answer 2. Vimatatsu surasureshu jata surabestam rishishunyadha stridhaman ayaratnam abhutate baratnam dyutaruschaapsarasasureshu tani. So now a lot of things are going to come. So first Shiva took care of the first bad thing that was coming out, which was the Kalakutam poison. So once the Kalakutam poison was taken care of, next from there comes Surabhi or Kamadhenu, which is the wish fulfilling cow. So it can give anything you want. So primarily, you know, when the cow is coming, so everybody agrees, right? Because multiple things are going to come. So they have to figure out who is going to take what. So everybody agrees, okay, cow, it makes sense for the rishis to take, because from the cow is going to come milk. From the milk, you get curd, you get ghee and everything, which is all used for homams and abhishekams and everything. So they all agree that this Surabhi or Kamadhenu, which is coming, will go to the rishis. So the rishis take the Surabhi. So next, there is something called as a Uchai Shravasa, which is like a white horse, which is actually coming in. So when this white horse comes, so Bali Maharaja, who's leading the Asuras, he says that, you know what, I've never seen something as white, you know, and there's a massive sized horse. She says, I want the horse, the Asuras say. And Indra and others don't fight about it, because, you know, like Narayana had told them upfront, you know, do not argue on anything else that is coming, because your main goal is to get the nectar. So they say, fine, the Asuras, you can take the Uchai Shravasa horse. Next, the third thing that comes is Airavata, which is the king of the elephants is coming, which Indra then gets the elephant with the 4 tusks. So Indra gets it. So next, all the Apsaras come. So when the Apsaras come, even that also goes to the gods. So somehow they distribute all this. So the Apsaras come, they give it to the gods. So this way, 3-4 things are beginning to come, and each one takes one. So Vimatatsu Surasureshu Jata, put a plus, Surabhis Tam Rishishu. If you want to break it, it's Tam Rishishu, but you can say it together. Tam Rishishu Nyadhas Tridhaman. So the first 2 lines are together. Haya Ratnama Bhutatebha Ratnam, comma, Dhyutarush Chap Sarasaha is there. Put a is to join. Chap Sarasas Sureshu Tani. Vimatatsu surasureshu jata surabhistam rishishunyadhastridhaman hayaratnam abhutate bharatnam dhyutarushchapsarasas sureshu tani.
विमतत्सु सुरासुरेषु सुरभिस्तां ऋषिषुन्यदासित्रादामन्
Nyadhas tridhaman
हयरत्नमभूदते व्रत्नं
hayaratnam abhutate bharatnam
हयरत्नमभूतते भरत्नं द्युतरुश्चापसरसुरेषु तानि विमतत्सु सुरासुरेषु जातः सुरभिस्तं ऋषिषु
tridhaman.
त्रिधामन् sorry हयरत्नमभूददे भरत्नं द्युतरुश्चापसरसुरेषु तानि
Vimadatsu surasureshu jata surabhistam rishishu nyadastidhaman hayaratnam avudadevaratnam jutarusapsaraistu sureshu dani. विमदत्सु सुरासुरेषु जादासुरभिस्तां ऋषिषु न्यदासुदामन् हयरत्नम् उदेदेवरत्नं तिदुरुस्सात्सरस्सुरेषु दानि.
Last line, Ravi. Dhyutaruschap sarasas sureshu tani.
Sarasasureshu dani. Okay.
Okay. We'll switch halfway. I think I had Pratibha and Gayatri right here. So 3 and 4, I'll say the meaning together. Jagadisha bhavatpara tadanim, comma, kamaniya kamala babhuva devi, longi, amalam avalokya yam bilolaha, comma, sakhalopi sprihayam babhuva lokaha. Jagadisha bhavatpara tadhanim kamaniya kamala babhuva devi amalam avalokya yam bilolaha sakalopi sprihayam babhuva lokaha.
जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमलबभूव देवी अमला अमला
Amalam avalokya, if you want to break it.
अमला अवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृह अमलामवलोक्य लोक्ययां विलोल सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बुभुव स्पृहयां बभुव लोकः.
Yeah, the third line below laha, there is a comma there. Avalokyayam below laha sakalopi.
जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमला अवलोक्य.
Yeah, good. You can break it at that ma. So amalam avalokya.
अमलाम् अवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां यां भूव लोकः.
जगदीश भवत् तदानीं कमनीया कमला बभूव देवी अमला अवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः. जगदीश भवत्परा तदानीं कमनीय कमला बभूव देवी अमला अवलोक्य यां विलोलः सकलोऽपि स्पृहयां बभूव लोकः.
Take third line, even that word amalam im. Amalam avalokya.
Okay.
That's a four. Tvahi datta hriday tadhaiva devvyai tridashendro manipītikām vyatarīt sakhalopahrutabhishechaniyaihi rishayastam shrutigīrbhirabhyashinchan. So now, after all this is beginning to come, so finally now is coming the goddess of fortune itself, Kamala Bhabu. So Rama, which is Mahalakshmi herself, is now beginning to come out of the ocean. So this Mahalakshmi, when Mahalakshmi comes, it is like as if that it's like a complete, like as if there's like electricity, it's like a lightning that is actually happening. There is a brightness that is there when Mahalakshmi is coming out of this ocean. So looking at her, the beauty of Mahalakshmi, her complexion, her glories that is there. And of course, she's Sri, right? She's the source of all prosperity. So everybody knows that whoever has Mahalakshmi is going to get all the prosperity in this world. So now there begins a contention as to who gets Mahalakshmi, right? So at this time, the Devas feel that they should get Mahalakshmi. The Asuras feel they should get Mahalakshmi. Everybody else who is also there begins to feel that they'll all get Mahalakshmi. So they all begin to woo her, right? So Indra first comes and gets her like a place to sit, an asana, like a throne which is all studded and everything. He says, okay, this is an offering from the Deva side for Mahalakshmi to actually sit there. And then all these, it talks very beautifully about how, because Mahalakshmi herself has come, all these rivers, this Ganga, Yamuna and all, it's there in earth, but they're actually heavenly water bodies. It's just that they're calling that as Ganga and Yamuna on earth, but they actually exist in other worlds, the rivers. So they all manifest themselves. They also are coming and doing, coming to meet Mahalakshmi. So with this, everybody is coming, right? It says how everybody is bringing several things, and whatever things they are actually bringing, they all now give it to the sages. The sages now start purifying Mahalakshmi, begin to do Abhishekam while doing chanting all the Veda mantras. They start doing an Abhishekam to Mahalakshmi here. So, Tvayi Datta Hride Tadaiva Devyai, comma, Hridashendro Mani Pitikam Vyatharit. So, next word, you can't break it. Sakalo Pahritabhishechaniyaihi. So, first put a visarga at the end of that line, comma, but you can't break it because Sakala Upahrita Abhishechaniyaihi. So, you can't break that word, comma. Next line on top of Rishayastam, there is a ir that goes away. Rishayastam Shruti Girbir Abhyashinchan. If you want to break at that ra, Girbir Abhyashinchan. Tvahi datta hridhe tadaiva devye Tridashendro Manipitikam Vyatarit Sakalopahrita Abhishechaniyaihi Rishayastam Shruti Girbir Abhyashinchan.
त्वयि दत्तहृदे तदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारित् सकलोपरताभिषेचनैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगिर्भिरभ्यसिञ्चन्.
It's the third line. Shechaniyehi.
त्वयि दत्तहृदे तदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारित् सकलोपरताभिषेचनैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिगिर्भिरभ्यसिञ्चन्.
The third line. Sakalopahritaabhishechaniyehi.
सकलोपरताभिषेचनैः.
Yeah.
त्वयि तत्कृते तथैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यधारीत् सकलो बहृधाभिशेषणीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिकीर्भिरभ्यसिञ्चन्. त्वयि तत्कृते त्वदैव देव्यै त्रिदशेन्द्रो मणिपीठिकां व्यतारीत् सकलो बहृधाभिशेषणीयैः ऋषयस्तां श्रुतिकीर्भिरभ्यसिञ्चन्.
That's right. Abhisheka jalanupati mugdhattvadapangairavabhushitangavalni manikundala pita chelahara pramukhaistamamaradhayon babhushan. Talked about, so the sages, the rishis who are there, they start performing Abhishekam to Mahalakshmi. So they start chanting the mantras and start doing the Abhishekam. The Gandharvas who are there, they're also chanting. So that the time the elephants from all the directions, the elephants come and then they bring the water from the Ganges, all the sacred rivers, and then they start putting water on Mahalakshmi. So with this, when everybody is doing Abhishekam to Mahalakshmi, she's sitting, in a steady form, right? She has a lotus flower in her hand and she's appearing very beautiful and very composed at that time. So then multiple people come and give. So Vishwakarma comes and then he gives a lot of ornaments. So Saraswati Devi is coming and giving something. Brahma is coming and giving another flower. So everybody is coming and giving offerings to Mahalakshmi. So essentially they're doing an Abhishekam and Archana kind of thing to Mahalakshmi, welcoming her. So Abhisheka Jalanupati Mugdha, put a plus, Tvada Pangairava Bhushitanga Vallim. Tvada Pangairava Bhushitanga Vallim. You can't break these words, you have to say it together. Mani Kundala Pita Chela Hara, put a plus, Pramukhais Tam, you can break it that ma, Pramukhais Tam, Amaradayonva Bhushan. That goes together. Amaradayonva Bhushan. Abhisheka jalanupati mugdhattvadapangairava bhushitanga vallim मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्तामरादयोन्वभूषन्
अभिषेकजलानुपातिमुग्ध त्वद्पाङ्गैः अवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीम् मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहार प्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरादयोन्वभूषन् अभिषेकजलानुपातिमुग्ध त्वद्पाङ्गैः त्वदपाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीम् मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहार प्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरादयोन्वभूषन्
अभिषेकजलानुपादिमुक्तत्वदभाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीं मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरातयोन्वभूषन् अभिषेकजलानुपादिमुक्तत्वतपाङ्गैरवभूषिताङ्गवल्लीं मणिकुण्डलपीतचेलहारप्रमुखैस्ताम् अमरातयोन्वभूषन्.
Stanza 6. वर्णस्रजमातभृङ्गनाधां धदती सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयाना पदशिञ्जितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद. So when all these things are done, Abhishekam is done, they do Archana, they welcome Mahalakshmi. So now is the important question. Who does Mahalakshmi pick? Right? So they say, because Mahalakshmi, you get to pick, right? So they say, we're going to do a Swayamvaram for you, and then you get to pick whoever you want. So they give Mahalakshmi a garland and say, you go walk around, right? And then you pick whoever you want. She talks nicely, because Bhattacharya is a poet. He talks about how, she's walking very slowly, and the Nupuram, the anklets are making noise. And because she's a bride now, she's acting very shy. So she has her head down. She's just looking, everywhere who is there. And then you are just walking very slowly in a very shy manner, looking around to see who is there and who you want to put the garland on. So Varana Srajam Atha Bhringa Nadam, Dhadati Sa Kucha Kumbha Mandayana Pada Shinjita Manju Nupura Twam, Kalita Vrila Vilasam Asasada. If you want to break it that ma, Vilasam Asasada. Varanasrajamata Bhringanadham Dhadati Sa Kucha Kumbha Mandayana Padashinjita Manjunu Puratwam Kalitavrila Vilasamasasada.
वरणस्त्रजमातभृङ्गनादां ददती सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयाना पदसिञ्जितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रिलविलासमाससाद.
That last line, that vri is long e, then it will land. Kalitavrila, then it will land.
वर्णस्त्रजमातभृङ्गनादां ददती सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयाना पदशिञ्चितमञ्जुनूपुरा त्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद.
वारणस्रजमातभृङ्गनादां ददसि 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 ददसि
T, not C.
Okay.
Dadati.
Okay. ददति सा कुशकुम्भमन्तयाना पदसिञ्चितमञ्जुनूपुरत्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद. वर्णस्रजमातभृङ्गनादां ददति सा कुचकुम्भमन्दयाना पदसिञ्चितमञ्जुनूपुरत्वां कलितव्रीलविलासमाससाद.
Stanza 7. Girishadruhinadi sarvadevan Gunabhajopyabhimukta doshaleshan Avamrishya sadaiva sarvaramhe Nihita Tvayanayapi Divyamala. So now Mahalakshmi is walking amongst everybody who's there. Everybody's waiting. So you have all the devas, you have the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, all the types of demigods who are there, all the Asuras, Brahma, Shiva, everybody's there. So when Mahalakshmi is walking, she's trying to say, what, I want to find, like every bride wishes, I want to get the perfect husband. Not everybody gets it, but Mahalakshmi wants one, right? So she says, I want to get the perfect husband, right? So when she is walking around, she says there are some people who have great control over, they are doing a lot of penance, they have a lot of austerities, but then they have a small sense of anger. They still have some anger present in them. Then there are some people who have great knowledge in the crowd there. They have great knowledge, but they also have material desires. So they are not completely devoid of material desires who are there. Some people have everything is there. They have great personality, but they may have lusty behavior, like the Deva. So she kind of goes through everybody, and everybody she looks, she finds that there is always some fault in everybody. And even when she comes to Brahma, she says Brahma, who's the creator, from whom all we saw everybody who came from Brahma. He says, but even Brahma has a defect, which is Brahma has an end. He doesn't know when his, his life is going to, his Brahma's term is going to come to an end. So he has a very clearly defined lifespan, and his role is also going to come to an end. And similarly, all this, they see a lot of sages who have renounced everything, right? But just renouncing everything doesn't mean they have attained liberation. They are not in that enlightened stage yet. So similarly, Lakshmi Devi is going around everybody she picks, she finds some fault in everybody. Then finally, finally she comes to Narayana and say, you are perfect in every way. There cannot be this no fault in you. So when she looks at you, she says, okay, you are the perfect husband for me. And then she puts the Divya Mala, she puts the garland onto Narayana saying, I'm picking you, right, in marriage. So Girisha Druhinadi Sarva Devan, Guna Bhajopya Vimukta, that's one word, Bhajopya Vimukta Dosha Leshan. Even little bit of dosham they all have. Avamrishya Sadaiva Sarva Ramye, Nihita Tvayanayapi Divyamala. But the part, he uses the word tu, which is like you. Tvayanayapi means it's Guru Ayappa, she picked you. Because for Bhattaripat, Guru Ayappa and Narayana are all the same, right? It's all one. So Girisha Druhinadhi Sarva Devan Guna Bhajopya Vimukta Doshaleshan Avamrishya Sadaiva Sarvaramhe Nihita Tvayanayapi Divyamala.
गिरिशद्रुहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदेशलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला.
Go to last line, Nihita, first word. Okay. And then the second line, Doshaleshan, end of that line. Okay.
Doshaleshan. गिरिशद्रुहिणादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला.
Nihita, last line, first word.
निहिता.
Yeah.
निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला.
गिरिशतृह्णादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमालाम्. गिरिशतृह्णादि सर्वदेवान् गुणभाजोऽप्यविमुक्तदोषलेशान् अवमृश्य सदैव सर्वरम्ये निहिता त्वय्यनयापि दिव्यमाला.
Stanza 8. Urasa tarasa mamanithainam bhuvananam janani bhavam twaduro vilasatta dikshana shri parivrishtya paripushtamasa vishwam. So then when Mahalakshmi picked Narayana, right, as the person she wants to marry, so of course Narayana welcomed her. So that's why it's called Sri Nivasa, because where Sri resides, right? So he then takes Sri and says, you can sit in my, you know, in my urasa, you can sit in my chest, right? That's where you can reside permanently. You have a spot there. So then she welcomes Mahalakshmi. And then, of course, when Mahalakshmi then starts looking around itself, right? When the moment she starts looking around, that is bringing prosperity to everybody around. So everybody is beginning to feel the entire universe becomes prosperous wherever Mahalakshmi's eyes is falling. So essentially, Narayana and Mahalakshmi are getting married and he's welcoming her. So Urasa, Tarasa, Mamani Thainam, comma, Bhuvananam Jananeem. You can break at that ma. Jananeem Ananya Bhava. So who is the mother of all the three worlds. And nobody opposes that because they know she is the mother of all the worlds. So nobody is going to oppose whatever she picks. Twaduro Vilasatta Dikshana Shri, put a plus, Parivristya Pari Pushtamasa Vishwam. Urasa Tarasa Mamani Thainam Bhuvananam Janani Mananya Bhavam Twaduro Vilasatta Dikshana Shri Parivristya Paripushtamasa Vishwam.
Urasa tarasa mamanithainam bhuvananam jananim ananya bhavam vaduro vilasatta dakshina shri parivristya paripushtamasa vishwam.
But the third line, Vilasatta Dikshana Shri.
Urasa tarasa mamanithainam bhuvananam jananim ananya bhavam vaduro vilasatta dikshana shri parivristya paripushtamasa vishwam.
Urasa tarasa mamanidainam bhuvananam janani mananya bhavam taduro vilasatta dikshanat sri parivristya paripushtamana vishwam.
Pushtamasa Vishwam. Last line.
Paripushtamasa vishwam. Urasa tarasa mamanidainam Bhuvananam janani mananya bhavam twaduro vilasatta dikshanat sri parivrishyam parivristya paripushtamasa vishwam.
That's a nine. Atimohana Bibhrama Tadhani Madayanti Khaluvaruni Niraghat Tamasah Padavi Madastwamenam Ati Sammananaya Mahasurebhyah. So first the goddess of fortune came. So immediately followed. So when the Asuras did not get, Mahalakshmi did not pick the Asuras. So they are feeling very dejected now, right? So they are feeling very let down because they did not get that. So the next person that follows is the exact opposite of the goddess of fortune, which is the goddess of misfortune. So which is kind of Varuni. Varuni is considered like liquor and all the evil things embodied as a person. Think of it as that way. So when Varuni is coming, and that is very, very deluding. It's very easily to get tricked by such things, right? So it's very intoxicating and very exciting coming in the form of Varuni. So at that time, the Asuras were already very dejected because they did not get Mahalakshmi. Felt, okay, you know what, this is something we absolutely need because it's the next best option for them. So, you and Narayana did not, and the Devas did not, like they say, they never cross what Narayana says. So Narayana says, absolutely. So Ati Sammananaya, with great honor, you then go and give Varuni to the Asuras, right? So they get in possession of liquor and all the evil things embodied. And that's going to come and hurt them in 29th Dasakam. We'll see that. So Ati Mohana Vibhrama Tadani, comma, Madayanti Khalu Varuni Niragat Tamasaha, put a F, Tamasah, Padavim Adas, if you want to break it. Padavim Adas Tvamenam, put a im at the end of that line and a comma. Tvamenam. Next line you'll have Mati, that becomes Ati. Ati Sammananaya Mahasurebhyah. Atimohana Vibhrama Tadhanim Madayanti Khaluvaruni Niragat Tamasa Padavi Madhastwamenam Ati Sammananaya Mahasurebhyah.
Atimohana vibhrama tadanim मदयन्ती खलु वारुणी निरागात् तमस पदवीमदास्त्वमेनाम्
Yeah, go ahead.
अतिसम्माननया महासुरेभ्यः अतिमोहान विभ्रमा तदानीं मदयन्ती खलु वारुणी निरागात् तमस पदवीमदास्त्वमेनाम् अतिसम्माननाय महासुरेभ्यः.
Pratibha, the first line, Ati Mohana. I think you said something else there.
अतिमोहन विभ्रमा तदानीं
Yeah, that's good.
अधिमोहन विभ्रमादधानीं मदयन्ति खलु वारुणी निराहात् तमसः पदवीमदास्त्वमेनाम् सम्माननाय महासुरेभ्यः.
Last line, Ati Sammananaya.
Okay, Ati Sammananaya.
Yeah.
अधिमोहन विभ्रमादधानीं मदयन्ति खलु वारुणी निराहात् तमसः पदवीमतास्त्वमेनाम् अधिसम्माननया महासुरेभ्यः.
Last time, sir. तरुणाम्बुदसुन्दरस्तधात्वं ननु धन्वन्तरिरुत्थितोऽम्भुराशेः अमृतं कलशे वहन् कराभ्याम् अखिलार्तिं हरमारुतालयेश. So all these things are coming, but what they are looking for doesn't come, right? Amrutam has still not come. So finally, when they keep doing it, then a beautiful, a very handsome male appears, right? And he was very strongly built, long arms, very strong. And then his neck had like the 3 lines, which were like the conch shell. Eyes were red in color. His complexion was black in color, and he was wearing a yellow garment, Pitambaram. So this is also one of the incarnation of Narayana, which is also one of the avatars of Narayana as Dhanvantari. That's a partial incarnation, right, of Dhanvantari. So Dhanvantari is a person who's the head of medicine, who knows everything about medicine related things. That's a god we pray for all health related aspects as well. So this Dhanvantari comes out, you, O Narayana, comes in the form of Dhanvantari, holding the Amrita Kalasham in your hand finally. So from that, finally, Dhanvantari comes out of this journey. So with that, this Dasakam comes to an end. Akilartim Hara Marutalayesha, O Lord of Guruvayur, please eradicate all my ailments. So this we saw in this kind of the Kurma Avataram, and then the multiple times the Lord comes and holds and protects everything, and finally also comes as Dhanvantari is also another avataram which is happening here. So Tarunam Buddha, just like dark black, the rain-bearing clouds color. Tarunam Buddha Sundaras Tadatvam, Nanu Dhanvantarir Uttitom Bhurashehi. If you want to break it, you break it at the ru. Dhanvantarir Uttitom Bhurashehi. Amritam Kalashe Vahan Karabhyam. Put a im at the end of that line, comma. Next line, Makhilarthim becomes Akhilarthim. Akhilarthim Hara Marutala Yesha. Tarunambuda Sundarastadhatvam Nanu Dhanvantarirutthitom Bhurashehe Amrutam Kalashe Vahan Karabhyam Akhilarthim Hara Marutala Yesha.
तरुणाम्बुदसुन्दरस्तदात्वं ननु धन्वन्तरिरुत्थितोऽम्बुराशे अमृतं कलशे वहन् कराभ्याम् अखिलार्तिं हरमारुतालयेश. तरुणाम्बुदसुन्दरस्तदात्वं ननु धन्वन्तरिरुत्थितोऽम्बुराशे अमृतं कलशे वहन् कराभ्याम् अखिलार्तिं हरमारुतालयेश.
Pratibha, second line, Burashehe. There's a visarga there at the end.
बुराशेः.
तरुणाम्बुदसुन्दरास्तदात्वं ननु धन्वन्तरिरुद्धतोऽम्बुराशेः अमृतं कलशे वहन् कराभ्याम् अखिलार्तिं हरमारुतालयेश. तरुणाम्बुदसुन्दरस्तदात्वं ननु धन्वन्तरिरुद्धितोम्बुरे शेहे अमृतम என்ன சொல்லுங்க
And that line, Dhanvantarir Uttitom Bhurashehe.
धन्वन्तरिरुद्धितोम्बुराशेः अमृतं कलशे वहन् कराभ्याम् अखिलार्तिं हरमारुतालयेश.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. End of session here today. Sandhanandhavabodhatmakamanupamitam कालदेशावदेभ्यां निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावद्भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानां कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you, everyone. Just a quick thing. So I have like one WhatsApp community, which is all of my other Narayaneeyam groups. I'm going to add this entire group to that. You won't be able to post because it doesn't give permission for everybody. So normally I post announcements and things there whenever we have events, right? So we have one event happening tomorrow at Grace Lake Temple here. There's a Vishu, they have the Abhishekam and everything. But 1 hour we are going to chant Narayaneeyam from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be all Krishna related Dasakam, so none of which you might have learned. But if you're free and available to come, feel free to stop by. I'll put the message in the group. It's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then I might have already said that, but May 4th, we are doing a Parayanam at Narasimha Swami Temple in Wisconsin. It is in Milwaukee. It's right, I think about 1 hour from the northwest suburbs. So I'll also send that information as well. Okay, but I'll add you all to the group so you'll be able to get that information as well. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Happy Vishu.
Happy Vishu.
Thank you, Rajesh ji.
Thank you.
Happy
Vishu.
Happy.